What's up, guys? Matty here, mixandmastermysong.com. Today we're going to be talking about something kind of interesting, something highly debated, and that is word clocks. I got here the MK3, the black Lion Audio XB micro clock. It's supposed to be a really great clock, and I've heard from some people I trust and admire that word clock is one of the most important things in the world, having a distributor or a dedicated word clock distributor. I've also heard from people I trust and admire that word clocks are useless and there's no need for them at all. And a lot of people I've talked to in the mastering world is to use your A to D as your master word clock. And that's actually what I've always done. My dangerous convert AD is the master clock for all the other stuff in my gear in my studio. Now, why did I want to try this? Well, I have quite a bit of digital gear that's being used in my studio. I have the dangerous convert AD, my Solaris A to D to A, which has its own clock, so it doesn't really need word clock, doesn't even have word clock inputs. But then I also have my Trinov, which sounds better when it's clocked to something else. And then I have my Mic DSP APB16, which needs word clock in. And lastly, I have my Lyra, which is kind of like my main interface that connects with all my AES stuff and connects with another 8 analog inputs for some of my other outboard gear that I use for mixing. So have quite a bit of gear. So I wanted to see if it would make a difference. You know, I've done enough reading. I wanted to actually hear it for myself. So what I did is I pulled up a bunch of stems from one of the songs from my buddy Cam Meekins. I ran a bunch of it through the APB. It's going through the converters. So everything is being used in this situation. And so I printed it, and we're going to be able to hear that. The other test I did was to take this Trips Carter song that I recently mixed and mastered, just the mix side. I just ran it through the converters, just like, you know, the mastering converter chain, and we're going to hear what that sounds like. So I'll show you my experience, and then I'll talk to you about the results and what I think. Let's get into it. All right, guys, so here's the session we got. I have big joints loaded in here with the AD as the master, which is convert AD as the master, and then big joints convert with a black line as a master. And then this Ovation song by my buddy Trip, AD master, black line master. So my buddy Anthony hit me to this plugin. Shout out to Anthony. It's basically a blind test plugin, and you can put it on a couple tracks, and then you hit this dice, and it loads them up. And then I put it over here because you will see the meters. So as long as you put it over here, you won't know which one's which. And then you can just solo back and forth and hear the difference. So that's what we're going to do. I got this little part of the song looped. We'll take a listen, and we can listen for a difference.
Next spot, I'm always on the road. Some 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 next spot, I'm always on the road.
Okay, so I might hear a difference. I don't know if I just think when I click the button I'm hearing a difference. I might hear a difference. Sometimes I think there's a little more clarity to this one, but I don't know. You know, so let's see what this is. So let's say I think there's just a touch more clarity to the top one. Let's see what it is. So that's actually the convert AD one, not the black line one. So if I am hearing a little more clarity from one of them compared to the other, it's when my dangerous is the master. Like I said, it's really hard to tell if I'm hearing much more clarity. And for either one of these, the one that I think would be most telling would be this one, because it's using all the different gear that's used in the studio. So that's that. Let's go to the Trip record and see if we can hear a difference on this one. So this one is just running through the converters, just my analog chain for mastering, basically. No Mic DSP stuff or anything like that.
Get up straight on this bar stool. Get up
straight on this bar stool, get up, 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 straight on this bar stool.
Now, once again, real close. Maybe, and I don't know if you guys are gonna be able to hear the differences here on YouTube, but maybe there's a little more mid-range presence to this one. Maybe. Let's show the tracks. So interesting. So the Black Lion one. Now, in my head, I thought this would be the Black Lion one, but it's not. So I guess that kind of proves the point that it's such a small difference that we can't even decide or say the AD or the Black Lion is this one and that's that one. It's just, it's too hard. So that's the test. Okay, so as you might have noticed, there wasn't a whole lot, if any, difference between clocking and just using your, convert AD plus as the master. Now, also, if you guys are using just one interface, which I know a lot of you are, just using one single interface, this is a pretty complex system, then the internal clock's always gonna be the best clock. I don't believe, unless you have a really old interface, that a external clock's gonna make a whole lot of difference. Now, I think what's happening, and I think, this is just my opinion, clocks 10 years ago were super important. It could make a big difference, right? Now, I think equipment's being built so well that even, mid-tier equipment sounds fantastic. And the clocks inside them have gotten way better. So I don't find a need for an external clock at this point in my life. I don't think we need them anymore, really. But hey, your mileage may vary. It might make a difference for your equipment. You might like the sound of it if you can really hear a big difference. So, it's one of those things in audio that's highly debated. And, some guys I'm sure will tell me in the comments that I did the test wrong and you don't really get it and all this stuff. But for me, this is going to have to go back. I'm not going to end up using this. I'm going to stay with the way I had it. Let me know what you guys think about clocks in the comments below. If you need songs mixed and mastered, hit me up at mixandmastermysong.com. You can also check out my presets and courses there too. Talk to you soon.